What would you do if you finally got to move into the house of your dreams, but then you started getting letters from someone who claimed to be watching you? Not spam, not prank mail, actual handwritten letters detailing your family's every last move, and then sign them the Watcher. This isn't a horror movie, it really happened. And in my opinion, reality is far more frightening than fiction. In 2014, Derek and Maria Broaddus purchased 657 Boulevard, a stunning, spacious 6-bedroom house in one of the safest towns in America. You know, the ones that are very elegant and quiet and have the tree-lined streets and great schools. You know, it's the kind of place where you'd only hope you could raise your family in, where all the neighbors are warm and welcoming and kind, and no one really ever has to lock their doors. But that would all change only 3 days after closing, when the first letter arrived. The letter read, "Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood." It seemed innocent and polite enough at first, but then came the twist. "I have been watching 657 Boulevard for decades. It is now my time. Have you found what's in the walls yet? I will be patient." They had no idea who sent this, not a clue. There was no name, no return address, not even fingerprints. They just became consumed with that eerie, unsettling, ominous feeling that they were being watched. More letters followed. They just started piling in, each time more personal, each time more terrifying. The Watcher mentioned the kids by their names. Then that progressed to calling them by their nicknames. He would describe the way that they looked and mentioned that he'd been watching them play outside, and he started asking really disturbing questions like who was gonna have the room that faced outside, and that by the time that they moved in, he would know. The Broadduses never even unpacked. I mean, can you blame them? I know for me personally, I would have never even returned to the house, but that's just me, to each their own. What they ended up doing was they launched a private investigation. Now, that's actually a stellar idea, except for the fact that what they ended up finding out only deepened the mystery. The police interviewed neighbors, former owners of the house, anyone they could think of. They were just scrambling, trying to see what they could do, anything that came to mind. They even sent a sample of DNA off of one of the envelopes. The results, partial DNA from a woman. No match, so no arrest was made. They weren't really making any leeway here. There were theories that perhaps this could have been a jealous neighbor. After all, 657 was quite the gorgeous, coveted spot. Others say it was just a sick prank. But Derek and Maria were convinced that this person was real, the Watcher, and that they were watching them still. Alas, the Broadduses never moved in. Surprise, surprise to absolutely no one. I mean, really, they were painted into a corner. What else could they do? They tried to sell the house to make some sort of a profit, so this wasn't a total loss and waste of time. But that's kind of what it ended up becoming, because they had no luck. Who would want to step into this situation? It was so public, so many people knew about it with all the investigations going on. And they actually decided to sue the previous owners for having hidden this information from them, which is kind of evil when you think about it, that these previous owners decided to take these people's money and let this family that has children move into this super dangerous situation. So I think anyone listening to the story would think that it's totally fair that they sued them. They had all the grounds to do it. But the thing that's the most baffling to me is the fact that the city refused the Broadduses the right to demolish and rebuild in the place of the house.
Rebuilding a house? No, don't do that. Get out of here.
The whole situation was just really toxic financially and emotionally, clearly. The absolute worst part of all of this, amidst the chaos and the pandemonium, the drama, the neighbors, the investigation, the financial struggle wedged its way in there, was that the Watcher still hadn't been caught. Just free to creepily haunt the streets. 657 Boulevard sat like a haunted house, untouched, unlived in, unlooked at, just humming with dread, until it actually sold years later at a loss, sadly but predictably. But as for the Watcher, still never identified. So the next time you walk into a house and you think to yourself, this is too good to be true, run, don't walk to the mailbox, because someone out there might be watching. You might never know why. If this story gave you the chills, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more just like it, and turn on that notification bell because the next one might just be even better than your favorite. Who knows? I would also like to extend all of my love to our sensational donation heroes. Thank you so very dearly, Kevin Corkill, Marissa Martinez, and Steve Middleton. You guys are the best. Without you, these videos simply wouldn't be possible, so thank you for being the heartbeat of this channel. If you'd also like to help donate, you can click the link in the description below. Even just the smallest, tiniest bit you wouldn't believe goes such a long way. We're trying to up the quality in the production of these and even going outside the boundaries of budget. Thank you guys so very much for making all of this worth it. You guys are the best. Until next time, go out there and do something that brings you joy, but more importantly, stay safe.